Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video. And in today's video, I want to have a chat about PKA and then obviously dive into a PKA run, level 250 plus, all the way up to 300. The team you will see today can happily clear 300. And honestly, I say that with full confidence now after saying it multiple times throughout this particular PKA season, not knowing how the HP scaling worked. Well, shout out to my boy Captain Papi, as always, my math guru. Put together the spreadsheet for the PK HP scaling. So if you have a look here at level 100, there is 80 million HP. That's at level 100. Once you start making your way up to level 150, which is what we're used to, you are looking at around 1.5 billion HP. Seems pretty reasonable for content nowadays. 1.5 billion HP is obviously a lot, but it's nothing like insane. Obviously, we can hit 1 trillion damage pretty comfortably. So 1.5 billion doesn't seem all that bad. Now, with the release of the new PK update, we can go all the way up to 200 to get ourselves a bunch of really nice rewards. And getting to level 200 has 29 billion HP. But as you can see, below 200, all the way down to 226, the scaling starts to get a little bit ridiculous. We're looking at 139 billion HP at level 226. Yeah, so you can only imagine what happens when you start getting to like level 250, where we are at the moment for today's run, being at around 575 billion HP. Now, this is starting to hit the point where we're thinking, all right, this is kind of crazy, and this is level 250. We still have 50 levels to go, and if we go all the way down the bottom to level 300, as you can see, once you sort of hit that 260 mark, we're already at 1 trillion HP, and we go all the way down here to 275, we're looking at 2.5 trillion, all the way down to PKA level 300, clocking out at 11 trillion HP. 11 trillion. I don't think we've ever fathomed a team that could hit 11 trillion damage. Obviously, with the latest super boss, the last super boss, we were hitting upwards of around 6 to 7, depending on what team and what you guys could build there with the end of turn damage shenaniganry with BROOK. So this is kind of absurd, but obviously with the damage cap, hitting 1 trillion damage is pretty much all that we can do. So how in the hell are we meant to crack 11 trillion HP? Well, it is doable, and in today's video, we're going to use arguably now the best legend in the game in V1 BROOK. Alright, PKA level 253 all the way up to level 300, utilizing BROOK just like we did in the Super Boss Kazuna. That is the team. There's only one support, and honestly, the support isn't that essential. Just as long as you can get extra cooldowns on Ahmed. You kind of want damage reduction for turn 3 though, so Mr. 3 is the best option. And for the rest of your supports, if you guys are struggling with HP, I would just recommend putting a whole bunch of HP supports on. So that's the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive on in. I would highly recommend using a very high HP ship as well. And ideally something that's going to give you 2 turns of cooldown, so that way you can start building up your Ahmed special. Now, as you can see, Ahmed is on a massive cooldown. She's on something like a 26 turn cooldown or 30 turn cooldown or something ridiculous. So you are going to need to stall quite a lot with this particular team. However, when we're talking 11 trillion damage, stalling, honestly, doesn't seem that big of a deal. So take your time on turn 1, take your time on turn 2, try and get out as much stall as possible. Even if you have to take a few shots here, don't stress, it's going to be worth it in the long run. Stay as Rayleigh and Gaban, so that way you get the damage reduction as well. And something to note too is this particular team actually gives you 4 extra drops. You still have the Magellan unit, and you have a friend captain, Roger Rayleigh Gaban, to get around stuff like the bind, which is very, very important. Magellan here is great because he is a double special activation user. He has a 20% HP cut. Ahmed has a 50% HP cut. BROOK has another 20% HP cut. And then X-Drake has a 10% HP cut. With all of these specials, it does bring you down to around a 23% left for any boss if you use all of their specials together. That way you can utilize Ambush Garp, finish them off because they're below 25% HP, and you're good to go. Now, shout out to my boy Shepo. I do believe he put out a video as well using this particular strat. Obviously, once we saw 11 trillion damage, we had to think like Brook strats, HP cut strats, all of that fun stuff. Another option would be using something like the Law final tap, but I don't really know exactly how that's going to function with the HP cut situation. I guess I wonder if like Law triggers with the how much HP they have at the start of turn, not how much they have when they're actually utilizing the final tap ability. But look, that can definitely be another option. Now on turn 3, as you can see, we're basically just stalling out all of the debuffs. You're going to get ship binded. You're going to get 2 units completely blown away. Worst case scenario is it's going to be either your Roger Rayleigh Gaban or your Amund. If Amund gets blown away, it's just going to take extra turns of stalling. And if you lose your friend Captain Roger Rayleigh Gaban, then you are going to lose the damage reduction and a lot of HP because their captain ability just gives you a butt ton of HP. So if you can sort of farm up some recovery orbs, save them for this turn, that's where it's going to help you guys out too. And as mentioned, the Mr. 3 support is going to help you with some damage reduction there as well. So just take your time here. Once Amund gets down to around a 4 turn on her count, I believe honestly you could probably move on around 5, but I think I did 4 just to be safe. Because, like, look, you have the HP. We're going to die on the next turn. So, like, even if you leave this stage with 1 HP, it doesn't matter. So, just, like, literally take your time here. Like, it's just getting it down to 4 is going to be a lot safer than moving on at 5 and then ruining a whole run. On the 4th stage, this is where we actually get inflicted with Burn. And when you see Burn and you have Brook, especially Super Burn, it's basically music to your ears. Having a Super Burn mechanic allows you to hit perfects and die before the end of the turn. This is going to trigger the Brook Revive, and that's going to allow you to remove all of the debuffs on your side of the field. So you get around the Special Bind, you get around the Burn, the normal attacks only, and all of that other shenanigans. We can use the Roger Rayleigh Gaban special here, so we don't really need it on the final stage. That way we can easily kill Vegapunk on this stage. And then once we move into the final stage, we can just basically pop all our HP cards and let Garp do his thing. So that's pretty cheeky, pretty nice, but unfortunately having so much HP revolts us to utilizing strategies like this, and it kind of sucks because like we want to use those big damage teams, but at the end of the day, like even those big damage teams hitting 11 trillion is kind of out of our ballpark. You could definitely do some stuff with like Usopp and bring it down by like 40%, and then do stuff with like the Sanji to get 60% damage buff. However, when you're talking the damage cap at 1 trillion, it just makes all of that null and void, as it's just like even the teams that can hit 4 or 5 trillion damage are literally not going to be able to do that because they've capped the damage at 1 trillion. So hopefully this is a message to Bandai to just remove the damage cap. It's the dumbest thing in the entire world. Just give us bosses that have this much HP. Like if we can beat it with bigger teams and strats like this, so that way everyone can do it, it's going to make it still very, very fun for everyone. Something to note when you hit the final stage, if you don't get swapped into X-Straight, X-Straight needs to be in your middle right-hand slot. If you don't get swapped into X-Straight, you need to close the app as you saw that I did, reopen it, and then that way you'll get the captain swap into X-Straight, so you don't have to worry about the special reverse, which is very, very important. So that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Late!